Another week of NBL, so let's go through the power rankings after week 9. This one was not easy to adjust because a lot of teams kind of lost and but it's hard to move and find out where a lot of the teams kind of sit right now. And a fair few teams actually only played one game, so there's not a lot of information, and teams that lost, is it really a lot to take away from them? But let's go through the list. Melbourne, they will stick at number 1 until proven otherwise. Then we have the Phoenix, who won their only game against the Taipans, so there's not really a lot to go off there, so they stick at number 2. Then the Kings, who have won 4 games in a row. This is like their longest stretch in, it feels like 2 years, with that dominant display against the Hawks. So the Kings are actually bringing it now. They just wore down the Hawks, and the Hawks looked really good last week as well. Then for 4 and 5, I feel like this could be switched. I feel like after this week it will be switched because they're actually going up against each other. But I've just left it since both teams won, neither team lost, so it's kind of hard to be to gauge and say, but you beat this, so I don't know. Because the Wildcats, they beat the Breakers, that was a good win, and then because the Breakers always have a good fight up until the fourth quarter. Then the 36ers, they won both of their games, but it was against the Taipans and the Bullets, so not the Bullets, the Jack Jumpers. So it's not really big wins because they're kind of very much expected to get these wins. So I've just left it the way it is. And then here comes the rest of the group where most of these teams lost, so it's kind of hard to gauge where to actually put them. I moved the Hawks up. They did lose to the Kings, but the other teams have looked a bit worse over the last few weeks, so I feel like I've just given them the benefit of the doubt because they did go up against the Sydney Kings. Breakers had another fourth quarter downfall, but they also got a win against the Bullets, so I'm going to account that and move them up in the rankings just for that. Bullets, they're dropping down. They've had all their drama. Understandable why they're falling apart. Jack Jumpers, again, the injuries will Magnaze out for a bit now. David Johnson should return soon, but we don't have an exact date yet. So they're continuing 5 in a row losses is not good. And then we have the Taipans, who were just almost got a win. They almost got a win, and they looked really solid. Jack McVeigh, 39 points, so shout out to them for that. I do think the Taipans might actually get a win this week. I mean, they're versing the Breakers, so we will see. This could definitely be a coin flip of who will win, but I do think the Breakers have a bit more. But I'll get into that later when I do my predictions for the week. But these are my power rankings for the week. Let me know where am I going wrong. Anyway, see you on next time.